Your home for Hannity each afternoon at 3 p.m. Talk 96.3 and 103.7. Welcome in to News and Views with Tom Lamprecht. The stories you've heard and the ones you need to hear.
We are seeking an order to dissolve the NRA in its entirety. No one is above the law, not even the NRA.
That's a very terrible thing that just happened. I think the NRA should move to Texas.
What is going on in Portland?
This movement's very powerful.
New York City, the checkpoint process, fines can be as high as $10,000.
Your life, your values, your voice. This is News and Views with Tom Lamprecht on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
All right, you got to have a program. The NRA is suing the Attorney General. The Attorney General, Letitia James, is suing the NRA. And at the end of the day, the NRA is going to prevail in one way or the other. They'll either leave New York, say adios, or they will prevail in court. Lots to talk about today. UNC Chapel Hill students expected to return to campus before classes resume on August the 10th, protested with a die-in on campus. And yes, they were accompanied by some professors. Dozens of students and staff laid down outside the UNC South building on Wednesday in protest, this according to WCHL. I think most disappointing thing to me is the absolute abdication of leadership responsibilities by the chancellor, a groundskeeper at UNC told WCHL. He's not leading or looking after his university and his people. Yeah, these same people that would do a die-in, did they, when they were like 4 years old, did they hold their breath and say, "Mommy, if you don't give me my way, I'm going to hold my breath till I turn blue"? "Oh, Johnny, don't do that. You can have whatever you want." And you know, the sad thing about this is the administration at Chapel Hill will give in to this die-in. They'll, "Oh, don't do that. Oh, we'll do whatever you want." So anyway, they're upset because Chapel Hill is not going to go total virtual. They actually want to hold classes. That's a big no-no. By the way, we're going to play political trivia in a little bit. Woodrow Wilson, celebrating all the Marxism and socialism that's happening around the world and in our country. Appropriately, we'll have a Woodrow Wilson question for you. This is a great op-ed piece that was in Western Journalism, and we're going to interview Ken Blackwell. You might remember that name. He was actually the mayor of Cincinnati. He is also a member of the Black Voices for Trump board. And somebody just texted me and said the students do not have to go back to Chapel Hill. It's not mandated, but they can, and they're still going to have a die-in. But we're going to talk to Ken Blackwell about what's going on in all these cities across the country. He was the former, he's a conservative. He was a former mayor of Cincinnati. We're going to talk to him in a little bit. But Benny Hardy sent me this op-ed out of Western Journalism written by Howard Kalugian, I guess is how you pronounce his name. And it is a great piece. In fact, I posted this on our Facebook page. Our Facebook page is still going by the name of Tom and Sadie, even though my partner's not here today and not going to be here much anymore. But a great piece, and you'll want to get this and print this off. And I don't usually read op-eds as long as this from start to finish, but this is great stuff. Black Lives Matter, it's both a catchphrase and a corporation. It's both a motto and a Marxist movement. It's a slogan that fits on a yard sign, but it's also the name of a radical domestic network of violence and hatred that almost nobody supports once they understand it. When talking about the organization, it should be relabeled Black Lives Incorporated. The vast majority of black people who have legitimate concerns have adopted the rallying cry Black Lives Matter. They've seen their cause and their battle cry hijacked by a network of Marxist groups whose intention is to turn America into a country where no one is free. They have the same goals as Occupy Wall Street. And by the way, they probably are made up of the same group of paid protesters. But BLM has adopted a more sympathetic phrase as their name, Black Lives Matter. It is simple to find the truth about Black Lives Incorporated. Step one, go to Google, type in Black Lives Matter, go to the group's homepage. At the top, click About. Drop-down menu comes down. Click Our Co-Founders. Google the names of those founders, and then it all starts to come together. Breitbart has reported on Patrice Cullors. I thought it was Patrice, but apparently it's actually pronounced Patrice Cullors. She describes herself and her co-founder, Alicia Garza, not only as Marxists, but trained Marxists who are super versed on ideological theories. Now, here is an actual audio clip of Patrice Cullors. She was there's some socialist news online news service called therealnews.com. This is her out of her own mouth. She refers to herself as a Marxist.
I think that the criticism is helpful. I also think that it might, I think of a lot of things. The first thing I think is that we actually do have an ideological frame. Myself and Alicia in particular are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists. We are super versed on sort of ideological theories.
You know what's really interesting, too, is she does refer to her right out front as an organizer, a community organizer. What other leader do we have that called himself a community organizer? So anyway, getting back to the op-ed. So she's a self-proclaimed Marxist. This is not what people mean when they proclaim Black Lives Matter through yard signs and posters hung on the church. Although they're doing it naively. From there, the trail leads to the same old suspects. Cullors studied for years under Eric Mann, who was associated with Students for a Democratic Society, convicted domestic terrorist Bill Ayers and Bernardine Doran, and the Weather Underground, which the FBI classified as a domestic terrorist organization in 1969. They're all birds of a feather. They're all together in this. For his part in violence, Mann, whom Cullors calls her mentor, served 18 months of a 24-month prison sentence for, quote, direct action. That's his euphemism for terrorism. Today, these same Marxists are leading woke young people to direct action that few understand. Direct action. That's what they're labeling their terrorism, their anarchy as. The first paragraph of the official Black Lives Incorporated What We Believe webpage reveals that its full name is the Black Lives Matter Global Network. We learn from Influence Watch that the organization has links to communist ideology. They supported Fidel Castro. So back to Google we go and find that this organization is sponsored by a 501c3 corporation called Thousand Currents. From that organization's homepage, we learn that it stands for food sovereignty, alternative economies, and climate justice. Susan Rosenberg is the vice chair of the board. A quick search of her life uncovers the fact that she led bombings and other terrorist activities in the 2 years leading up to President Reagan's reelection. She was arrested and served 16 years in prison, but before her sentence was up, she was commuted by President Bill Clinton. So when big corporations contribute money to Black Lives Matter Incorporated, they are funding a network of interrelated Marxist organizations attempting to dismantle the free markets that allow these same corporations to thrive. History teaches us that appeasement to Marxists internationally doesn't work, as they will want more and more territory ceded to them as you give ground. I've said this before. They're never going to be happy. They're never going to be, oh, okay, we're done now. That's all we want. It's a lesson that must be applied to domestic Marxist groups as well. There is no appeasing leftists. They will always demand more until you have lost all personal sovereignty And if you are unhappy with their control, you will be reassigned to a re-education camp. If the radical violence of the 1960s is a guide, then today's Black Lives Incorporated is similar to the continuing effort by Marxists the world over to topple the largest and freest nation in the history of the world. They are united in their stated goals, which include abolishing police, abolishing immigration control. All that sound familiar? Abolishing the traditional family, abolishing oil and natural gas. What does that have to do with Black Lives Mattering? Nothing. They also wish to set up a one-world government, of course led by them. So in truth, most Black Lives Matter don't matter to them. They don't care about black lives except to use the death of black people to achieve their larger radical political power grab agenda. Does it seem likely that this agenda will improve the lives of black people in America? Did it improve the lives of Venezuelans? Did it improve the lives of the people in Cuba? Do the people in Hong Kong, are they happy? All Americans, black and white, are better served by making certain that all black lives matter. They are better served by training police to use nonviolence interventions, to making us all better. But Black Lives Incorporated does not give one iota towards black lives. Innocent black families are being torn apart by violence, their children murdered in the streets, their businesses robbed, looted, and burned. Black Lives Incorporated doesn't care. Bingo. The full editorial is on our Facebook page, Tom and Sadie. Go, download it, print it off, read it, share it with your friends. And follow up on it. If you don't believe it, follow up on it. Unbelievable. Black Lives Matter. When you see somebody that is parroting that, is talking about how this is all about justice for the black family, it is not. It is Marxist through and through, pure and simple. The heads of it are self-avowed Marxist. They acknowledge it. Daily Wire is reporting Portland police chief is pleading with Portland officials and rioters who have disrupted an otherwise peaceful protest, which those haven't been many. Most of them have been violent. He says enough's enough. And by the way, this guy, this Chief Justice Lovell, is black. And he's saying enough is enough. We're going to take a time out. When we come back, we are going to be joined by Ken Blackwell. I think you're going to like this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
GoEco is the office equipment company that people all over eastern North Carolina are turning to for their office copier and equipment needs. GoEco sells and services Canon copiers and office products. They have a great service team that's quick to respond when you need them. We here at Interbanks Media just made the switch to GoEco, and they're saving us money in printing costs. Other businesses in and around Greenville are making the switch too. Dirk's Chiropractic switched over a year ago and saved money. GoEco bought out their existing lease, and Dirk's Chiropractic received better products fitting their needs. In fact, GoEco has saved local clients who have switched over $178,000. Oh, and some businesses might qualify for no payments until 2021. Call Area Sales Director Tom Watkins at GoEco for a free consultation today. 252-227-0581 or email info@goeconc.com. Save money by switching to GoEco.
My mom was diagnosed with Parkinson's 7 years ago. Her dementia is worsening, and after Dad passed, I moved her in with my husband and I. Mom's fought this beast for so long, and I can tell she's tired. Mom deserves better. Mom deserves home. Mom deserves the team at Pruitt Health Hospice. You see, I thought hospice was only for people in their dying days, but I was wrong. Pruitt Health Hospice brought Mom back to her life. The partners at Pruitt Health Hospice work to treat the whole person, not just the signs and symptoms of an illness. That means they support their patients, yes, physically, but also emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. Pruitt Health Hospice provides nurses, social workers, chaplains, CNAs, volunteers, and physicians, all from the comfort of our home. They worked together to provide forms of patient care that ultimately shared a common goal: to relieve my mother's suffering and improve her quality of life, however long that may be. Thank you, Pruitt Health Hospice, for all you do and for being committed to caring.
It's time for back to school, and the Auto Store Group in Greenville and Farmville has a to-do list for you. Upgrade vehicle, pick out backpack, select school for $50 donation. The Auto Store Group strives to show the same loyalty and support to the community that their wonderful customers have shown them. The Auto Store Group has free backpacks loaded with school supplies for the kids, plus they will make a $50 donation to your favorite school. Upgrade your vehicle from their massive inventory and get a loaded backpack. Plus, select a school to receive a $50 donation from the Auto Store Group, where you're guaranteed the maximum trade-in value for your vehicle. Now is the time to get to the Auto Store Group with 2 locations in Greenville at 4002 South Memorial Drive or 1926 North Memorial Drive, and 1 location in Farmville at 8827 West Marlboro Road, or online at theautostoregroup.com. The home of the 90-day no-worry guarantee is at your hometown store, theautostoregroup.com.
Back to news and views. Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
Welcome back in. 21 minutes after the top of the hour, taking a quick look at your weather forecast. A chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly before 8 o'clock tonight, low around 73. Tomorrow, pretty much a carbon copy of today with a high near 89. Again, slight chance of showers. Saturday and Sunday, ditto, same thing. Weather brought to you by our friends at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Celebrate this year's big event at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. We've made over $300,000 in upgrades and improvements. We're looking better than ever. Our brand new clubhouse is the perfect setting to host your wedding, birthday, anniversary, baby reveal party, graduation celebration, business meeting, or holiday party. Ironwood offers several private party spaces leading out to terraces with beautiful views of our Lee Trevino signature golf course. Make your celebration this year one to remember at one of the most beautiful venues in eastern North Carolina. Contact Taylor Hetzel, banquet manager at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Taylor's number is 752-4653, or email Taylor at foodandbeverage@ironwoodgolf.com. John Kenneth Blackwell is an American politician. He's an author. He's a black conservative who served as mayor of Cincinnati. He also was the Ohio State Treasurer and the Ohio Secretary of State. He was the first Republican candidate for the governor of Ohio as an African-American majority party candidate. He is also a board member of Black Voices for Trump. And he's with us this afternoon. We're going to talk about the election, but we're also going to talk about restoring law and order in American cities. Ken, welcome to News and Views. Good to have you with us.
It's good to be with you.
Ken, let me ask you a couple questions about, let's first talk about what's going on in these cities. There was a poll out just yesterday, came out of Gallup, that said 81% of black Americans want police spending the same amount of time or more time in their communities. And it pretty much was right in line with every other demographic. So as we see what's happening in our cities and we hear the mainstream media liberal narrative, how would you respond to that? What would you say as a black conservative who was the mayor of a major metropolitan area? If you were the guy that had to call the shots, how would you be reacting right now if you were, let's say, the mayor of Portland or the mayor of Seattle?
Well, let me just start off by saying that instinctively people want equilibrium in their lives. The psychiatrists and psychologists call it homeostasis. That's equilibrium. People don't like being on edge. They don't like being feeling unsafe. And so our safety forces in our communities are paramount to making sure that there is a condition in our living space that's conducive to working and raising a family and crisscrossing the neighborhood or city without fearing your life.
Right.
And so as mayor of a city, I know that my first job is to make sure that my people are safe. It's really not jobs or schools or social welfare programs. The first priority and responsibility of those elected officials is public safety and crime reduction. And you know what? If you establish that sort of environment, that's conducive to capital investment, job creation, people working, raising families, having their incomes lifted. And so I think those mayors who have been derelict in their duties, who have cowered to the mobs, are in fact failing to take care of their first responsibility.
I just went over this op-ed that was in the Western Journalism website today. Is a great detailed op-ed on the true Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Incorporated, as they called it. These mayors that are basically allowing the anarchists to have their way. As you play armchair quarterback for me, are they useful idiots, or are they a part of the problem that actually believes in the anarchy and the Marxist ideology of Black Lives Matter Incorporated?
It's eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I mean, I actually, I actually think that you have a mix of mayors, some and governors, who actually believe that we were as a nation established in 1619 as opposed to 1776. And so, you have organizations, Marxist organizations, like Black Lives Matter, who take a sentiment of Black Lives Mattering and advance a destructive, not only destructive narrative, but program of action. And so, look, it seems to me that the greatest challenge we face in our 244th year of existence as a constitutional republic is, do we have the moral courage and the political will to check the ever-increasing capacity for self-destruction? And if we, in fact, allow these forces of destruction to dominate our political leaders, what we're going to have is a downward spiral of quality of life in these cities, and people and investors and businesses will move and vote with their feet, and that's the challenge. Because look, capital is a coward. I've been fond of saying that for decades now. Capital does not seek environments of violence and destruction. And so it's no wonder that people who are net taxpayers, people who pay more in taxes than they demand in services, are leaving these cities that have become oases for lawlessness. And you have mayors like the mayor of Chicago, who is an excuse factory, for this nonsense. Or you have a governor like the governor of Michigan, who is an enabler,
right,
for this sort of nonsense. And so we have a clash. Whether it's the New York Times 1619 project that basically says that America has had a birth defect that you cannot correct, so you must totally deconstruct the country, or whether it is the promise of 1776, and like Lincoln said, we're not a perfect union, but we're a perfectible union. And I'm putting my chips on the 1776 model, right. And that means that we have to call out everybody who embraces Black Lives Matter Incorporated and their program, which, let me just say, their program, go to their website, and it calls for the destruction of the nuclear family.
Yep.
And I happen to believe that the family is the incubator of liberty. When you have families that work, you in fact don't need big government.
Thank you. Amen, brother. We're talking to Kim Blackwell, former mayor of Cincinnati. He's also a board member of the Black Voices for Donald Trump. Let me ask you this. You talked about the fact that capitalism is a coward. Why then do you have so many of these big corporations? And granted, the people that are making these decisions weren't the people that did the spade work that got these corporations started decades ago. But why are so many of these corporations handing money hand over fist as quick as they can to organizations like Black Lives Matter, when Black Lives Matter, if they had their way, they would destroy these organizations?
Absolutely. It's fascinating to see folks talking about actually destroying the companies that some of these billionaires who are donors to Black Lives Matter, they're talking about deconstructing and destroying the companies that they built. And look, they think that they can pay ransom, and escape. They think that they are so deep in resources and wealth that they can be protected, and they really don't care about mothers watching their kids being shot at the ages of 7 or 9 or 12 or 16, because they can in fact live in gated communities with their own private police force.
Yep.
At the end of the day, e pluribus unum, from the many one, and if we allow these folks who want to divide us, who are always in a constant game of musical chairs where somebody always has to lose, as opposed to understanding that we have been at our best when we, in fact, have played this game of multiplication and addition by growing our economy, and that's why they find it offensive that President Trump's policies, his tax policies, his reduction in red tape policies, actually took $3 trillion that were parked offshore and moved them back into our economy, accelerated economic growth, job creation, putting people to work, and was only, I think, momentarily derailed by the pandemic. But there's the foundation, and that's why I think you're starting to see entrepreneurs and those who believe in the free market system starting to put the pieces together, and we're going to have I'm not sure it's going to be a V, but it sure is not going to be an L.
Well, if you look at the stock market, it is pretty much a V. I mean, if you look at how far down, how quickly it went down, it came back up pretty much as quick as it went down.
You're absolutely right, and so in the overall microeconomy, one of the things that I've been blessed, and that's to have a breadth of experience. One of the posts that I held under George H.W. Bush was ambassador to the United Nations, and I was responsible for the human rights portfolio. But I traveled the globe, and one of the things that I found out is that the reason that we are a light that attracts people who find themselves on islands of darkness is because, one, we believe that our fundamental human rights are not grants from government; they're gifts from our Creator. And when you understand that, you don't have a problem with putting a harness on the reach and power of government, because you know that optimizes human or individual liberty. And so, look, this is going to be an epic election of great consequence, because what we have now are forces who believe that we must expand the welfare state and let it be run by bureaucrats and political elites, versus those of us who believe that we must expand the opportunity society, empower individuals, build strong families, limit the reach and power of government, and absolutely optimize individual liberty.
Well, as a member of the Black Voices for Trump, let me read a piece out of the Daily Wire, which came out today, although this one quote is from maybe a month ago. Terrence Woodbury, a Democratic pollster and founding partner of Hit Strategies, pointed out to The Hill that numbers showed 24% of black voters approving of Trump. He went on to say, I tell you right now, if he can get half of that 24% of those people to vote for him, then he is reelected. What are your thoughts on that comment?
Well, I think, look, everybody, and I'm 72 years old, so I've experienced a lot of presidential candidates that have gone into communities of all ethnicities and races and made promises, election year promises, and then disappeared in the intervening years between elections. Donald Trump basically said in 2016, in speaking to communities of color across this country, you've invested so much in the Democratic Party and you've been disappointed so many times. What do you have to lose to give me a chance to prove that I have a program? Well, look, he got 8% of the African American vote, and that was double what McCain and Romney had gotten in their respective races. Yeah, he will, in fact, my prediction is somebody that's worked this country. I think he's going to get anywhere from 12 to 16% of the black vote, and if in key targeted states, that can be a game changer.
Well, and I've said for some time, Ken, that I think that this next election, in terms of the modern era, this next election, Donald Trump is going to have an historic high for a Republican candidate receiving the highest number of votes from black Americans.
Yeah, and that's because he didn't just disappear in those intervening years between elections. He had a program, and he said promise made, promise kept, and he did that across the board. And the one thing that I continue, and so that you understand, I'm an advisor to the campaign, but I asked to focus in on a number of areas: national security, pro-life, and black voices for Trump. And so there are these coalitions under the big umbrella of his board of advisors. And you're absolutely right. I can point to all of those groups that this president has made a difference. He rebuilt our military, and he, in fact, took our national security at heart. And not only did he rebuild our military, he started to make sure that we plugged up porous borders and a failed homeland security system. He, in fact, has been, I think, the most pro-life, and
absolutely.
Most pro-life president that we've had
ever.
And again,
ever.
He, in fact, ever, right? And he has shown with his programs and his policies and his accomplishments that he wasn't just talking the talk to the communities of color across the nation. He, in fact, delivered.
Well, to that end, do you think that's why the leftists and the rioters and the anarchists are going bananas and burning down cities? Because are they scared to death that this guy's going to get reelected? And if he does, everything that you said was Black Lives Matter, Marx's goals, is 180 degrees from what Donald Trump is doing. I mean, if Donald Trump was a do-nothing president, they probably wouldn't care. They'd say, okay, more of the same that we've seen over the last 60, 75 years. But the fact that he is a doer, is that what is driving them nuts? And is that...
It's driving them nuts. And the other thing that's driving them nuts is that we've sort of pulled the sheet off of Joe Biden.
Yeah.
This guy is a gaffe machine, but in his gaffes, he is revealing. In the last 24 hours, he's basically, in speaking to a Latino group, he's basically said, unlike blacks, you all have a diversity of opinion.
I've got that audio. I'm going to play it in a little bit, but yes, he did say that, and he stepped in it again. And the irony of that is that was right after he said, "I don't have any cognitive issues."
So look, the bloodshed in some of our major urban areas, the uptick in crime in general. This is a president that understands that while he can't, from the Oval Office within our classic federalist system, make every street in America safe, with a cooperative White House working with state and local officials, we can, in fact, bend the curve in the uptick of crime very rapidly. And that's what his Operation Legend is about.
Yeah.
It is about a cooperative, comprehensive, all-of-government approach to bending that crime curve and blocking the crime spurt in our major cities. And shame on, those mayors who are watching their people have their property destroyed, their lives lost, their places of work destroyed. Shame on those mayors if, in fact, they don't coordinate this effort with this president to get it to create safe streets, safe neighborhoods, so that they can begin the uptick in prosperity.
Yeah, and the irony is, under the banner of Black Lives Matter, they're destroying the lives of black people.
Absolutely. And I just encourage people to go to Black Lives Matters Foundation, Black Lives Matter Inc. Look at their program, their program of action. Look at their leadership. Their leadership is, in fact, self-avowed Marxist.
Amen. Ken, we are up against the clock. Great interview. The person that got me in touch with you has given me your backup number. I'd love to have you on again, brother. Great interview. All right. Ken Blackwell. All right, I promise you, we'll call you. I've got to take a time out, but listen, when we come back, we're going to play a little political trivia. So give us a call, 561-8255, 561-8255. Political trivia when we get back.
Smitty's Restaurant is back open every day for breakfast and lunch from 5:30 to 2. Smitty's is back with their great biscuits and full breakfast items every morning and their great country cooking for lunch at the Country Mart location on Highway 11 between Greenville and Bethel. And don't forget, Country Mart stores are now the home of Shell gasoline. Save 5 cents per gallon on your first 20 gallons with gold status. And remember, Country Mart has your 93-octane non-ethanol premium for boats, lawnmowers, and other small engines. Country Mart Highway 11, where Smitty's is now open, and Highway 903 in Stokes. Carolina Vision Care has resumed routine eye care at their main office on West Arlington Boulevard Monday to Friday, but still with a limited schedule to limit the number of patients in the office at the same time to ensure safety for their patients and staff. They're also following strict disinfection guidelines to ensure a safe environment in their office, and they do require all patients to wear a mask while visiting the office. Carolina Vision Care's optical department is open, and they realize it's an inconvenience, but they still require an appointment to visit the optical department for your eyeglass needs, and they'll still offer curbside dispensing of glasses. All of these safety procedures are in place to protect the patients and staff and to follow state and federal guidelines. They do want to thank you for your patience and understanding during the pandemic, and they hope soon they'll be able to get back to a normal schedule and routine. The Fire Tower Road office remains closed but will also reopen soon. For more information or appointments, call Carolina Vision Care at 252-752-4380. Transworld Business Advisors is the largest and fastest growing business brokerage and M&A firm in the world. And my buddy Tony Corey and his wife Jarma have brought this wonderful company to Greenville and northeastern North Carolina. Tony, tell us about Transworld Business Advisors.
Thanks, Henry. Basically, our Transworld team here in eastern North Carolina confidentially helps both buyers and sellers with the purchase or sale of a business.
So, Tony, what's the process that a buyer or a seller would go through in working with you?
The best way for us to analyze what their need is for them to call us, because Transworld's been in business for over 40 years, and we can customize an approach that's right for them. For more information, you can check out our website at www.transworldeast.com, or you can call me personally on my cell phone at 252-347-9606, or transworldeast.com.
Transworld Business Advisors.
North Carolina's challenges are as unique as its 532 cities and towns. That's why NC State Extension brings science-based solutions to hometowns from Manteo to Murphy. At NC State, what we think and do delivers local solutions for local challenges. Sponsored by NC State's College of Agriculture and Life Sciences and the North Carolina Association of Broadcasters in cooperation with this station.
Welcome back in. It is time for political trivia. Your category, Woodrow Wilson, 561-8255. 561-8255. Your prize package does include a free oil change for your car pickup at Dave Davis's East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep or at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. a gift certificate from Fit for Life 24, including 2 free training sessions with a fitness coach, a $20 gift card to the Pirate Cove Car Wash, a proud partner of the ECU Courtesy Car Program, a $60 diagnostic card from University PC Care for any iPhone or PC repair, a gift card for a free round of golf with Cart at Ironwood, a $20 gift card to Mucho Bueno for lunch or dinner. Mucho Bueno, real Mexican street food located in front of the Westbrook Shopping Center, US 70 West in Havelock. Also a $20 gift card to Gwendy's Goodies Bakery in Aden, delicious baked fresh made from scratch goodies. First up from Winterville, we've got Brian on the line. Hey, Brian.
Hello.
You ready to play?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
All right, your category is Woodrow Wilson. Here's a question. After Woodrow Wilson's wife, Ellen, died in the White House, the president disclosed something he wanted. He disclosed this to his closest aide, Colonel Edward House. What did Wilson confide to House? The president disclosed something that he wanted. He disclosed this to his closest aide, Colonel Edward House. What did Wilson confide to House?
That he wanted to remarry?
Great guess. That's not it, though. Good guess.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Let's go to Joe in Blunts Creek. Hey, Joe.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Did you hear the question?
I did.
What do you think? What did he disclose? What did he disclose to his closest aide, Colonel Edward House?
That the League of Nations was the most important thing to it.
Well, it probably was, but that wasn't what he disclosed to Edward House. But that's a great guess. I like that. That's actually better than the real answer. But thanks for playing, Joe. Let's go to New Bern. We've got Mike on the line. Hey, Mike, by the way, that opens up some lines, so give us a call, 561-8255. Yes, Mike. What do you think?
I miss Sadie so much.
Well, it's only been 24 hours.
I know. I tried to call yesterday, but she was on her way out.
Well, she's probably listening. She's still in town. She's probably listening, so. You sound like you're blubbering worse than I was.
Yeah, well, I've always got a rattle in my throat. I'm a smoker.
Oh, okay. All right. What do you think? What did Woodrow Wilson confide to his aide, Colonel Edward House, after his wife Ellen passed away?
That she was the acting president.
That's a great guess, too. That's not it, though. Thanks for playing, Mike.
All right.
561-8255. Let's go to Greenville. We have Betty on the line. Hi, Betty.
Hi.
What do you think?
Can I get a hint?
All right, I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
Hint number 1. Apparently, Wilson was very much in love with Ellen. My hints never do much good, do they?
He wishes he had died with her.
That he wished he had died with her?
Yes.
That is a good guess, and I've got to tell you, you're warm. That's not it, but you're warm. All right? So you've given somebody else a hint. Let's go to Herbie. Hey, Herbie.
Hey, Herbie. Look, it was great seeing you in Parker's Chapel a couple of weeks ago. Great to see you.
Where did I see you?
Parker's Chapel Church.
Oh, yeah. That was fun. Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Okay, I'm thinking a bathtub.
A bathtub?
Not where I was seeing it, but what was the question again?
After Woodrow Wilson's wife Ellen died in the White House, the president disclosed something that he wanted to his closest aide, Colonel Edward House. What did Wilson confide to House?
Oh, my goodness. I probably don't have it. I was thinking a bathtub, but that's probably wrong.
No, he didn't. He didn't confess anything about or confide anything about bathtub. But, hey, thanks for playing, Herbie. 561-8255. Let's go to Hunter. Hey, Hunter.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Doing well. What do you think? You need another hint?
No. Was he having another relationship?
Say that again. My producer was talking to me. Say that again.
Was he having another relationship with another woman?
That's not it. That is not it. No, he really was very fond of his wife Ellen, and that was not it. 561-8255. Who do we got? Let's go to Alex. Hey, Alex. Alex, you with us?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, listen over the phone. Don't listen over the radio. There's a little delay there.
Yeah.
Do you need
The
it?
answer.
Do you know it?
I believe so. It's Woodrow Wilson had a stroke.
That's not it. That is not it. It's something that he confided to Colonel Edward House, and that is not it. But a lot of eliminating a lot of potential answers. 561-8255. Let's go to Donovan. You ready for a hint, Donovan?
I really am.
All right. Your first hint was apparently Wilson was very much in love with Ellen. And then Betty gave you another hint when he said, I wish I had died with her, which I said, that's not it, but it's pretty warm. Here's another hint. 4 other presidents did receive what Wilson was longing for, what he was hoping for. 4 other presidents had received that. What do you think?
Man.
Take a guess.
Yep. That he'd be the only one person he ever married.
That was not it. In fact, he did end up getting remarried. There's another hint for you. It had nothing to do with getting remarried, but good guess. 561-8255. Let's go to Donna. Hi, Donna.
Hi.
You ready for another hint? Do you think you have it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Apparently, Wilson was very much in love with Ellen. 4 other presidents did receive what Wilson was hoping for. Interestingly, those 4 other presidents really did not want to receive what Wilson was hoping for.
Did they not have children, maybe?
That's not it. That is not it. 561-8255. Let's go to Paul. Hey, Paul.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing well. I'm running out of hints here, Paul.
Okay, I'm going to just go for it without additional hint, and I missed some of the cues, but how about a dog?
He hoped for a dog? That was not it. I will say this. It is much more horrendous than a dog, okay? 561-8255. Who do we got, Clark? Baxter? Is Baxter on the line? Who we have on the line? Dexter?
Dexter.
Dexter! All right. Hey, Dexter. Little communication issue there. What do you think, Dexter?
I'm thinking that he wished he would die.
Okay, can you be a little bit more specific? You are so close. How?
Be killed.
To be killed?
Yes, sir.
I got to give it to you. He confided that he wished someone would assassinate him. That is bizarre, but that's exactly what he confided in to his aide. He was devastated, inconsolable, and his own health took a nosedive. And he said that he really wished someone would assassinate him. So there you go.
Amazing guy.
Congratulations. Where are you calling from?
I'm headed towards Goldsboro, North Carolina.
All right. Well, hang on the line because Clark's going to get all your information. We got a boatload of prizes we're going to get out in the mail to you. Stay with us. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Tired of your financial institution? Then come see the difference at Waco Community Credit Union. With locations in Plymouth, Williamston, and New Bern, Waco Community Credit Union is open to anyone in Craven, Washington, Pitt, Beaufort, or Martin counties. Since 1959, Waco Community Credit Union offers consumer and real estate lending and an assortment of deposit accounts, including IRAs and CDs. Visit their website at wacocreditunion.com for more information. Equal opportunity employer, equal housing lender. NCUA insured up to $250,000.
This is not a normal commercial for a car dealer. It's from Matthew Sessoms Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Williamston. Why is this commercial different? Your experience at Matthew Sessoms in Williamston will be different. Yes, you will find the same great prices as the mega stores. Same great selection. Yes, factory-trained service department and top-of-the-line body shop. What makes Matthew Sessoms Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram different is we truly understand how to treat our guests. Get our best price on a new or pre-owned Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram in just minutes. No games, no gimmicks, or internet prices that don't exist. It's not how we treat our friends. Upfront pricing without the hours of back and forth. No shouting or bragging. We'll simply show you we're different. The only thing you have to lose is a headache. Great deals, great selection, and the same smiling faces to greet you every visit. Online at MatthewSessomsCDJR.com. Matthew Sessoms Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Williamston, where customers send their friends.
Accelerate your future with the Emergency Medical Science program at Pitt Community College. Students learn essential skills to provide advanced emergency medical care as a paramedic. Training includes real-life simulations using an ambulance simulator. Employment opportunities include emergency medical services, fire departments, rescue agencies, and hospital specialty areas. With over 24,000 students enrolled in over 4,000 classes, we're Pitt Community College, accelerating your future for success.
You're home. You're a diabetic. You need supplies, but you don't want to visit the pharmacy. What do? Call US Med for home delivery of your supplies. If you have diabetes and you're worried about going to a crowded pharmacy, pick up the phone in the safety and comfort of your home and let US Med deliver them to you with free shipping. And now if you test your blood sugar 4 more times a day and inject insulin 3 or more times a day, you may qualify to get a new continuous glucose monitor at little or no cost, which may eliminate the pain of pricking your fingers and helps you make smarter diabetes decisions. Plus, we'll send you a 90-day supply and bill your insurance company for you. Get some peace of mind. Call US Med today.
800-640-7460. 800-640-7460. That's 800-640-7460.
What I like most about talk radio are the questions that get called in.
Now, back to the news and views with Tom and Sadie on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
We don't have much time. Congratulations to Dexter Lawhorn of Goldsboro, North Carolina. He is our political trivia winner. Got a great prize package deal being mailed out to you. Our thanks to Ken Blackwell. Great interview, and we're going to get that to Mike Buscemi, and it'll re-air this weekend. And, of course, you can go listen to it on Facebook. Thanks for being with us. We'll do it again tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We'll see you then. Bye-bye, everybody.
Divorce is never easy, but there's a right way and a wrong way. At A&R